Welcome back to MudRunner, y'all, and today we are jumping into a brand new adventure with the good old Dodge Ram that we have used in the past. This one is our lifted 3500, and then on the trailer, we actually have Red's Ram Charger that he backwards converted from SnowRunner back into MudRunner. Now, I've never actually driven that Ram Charger before, and I'm really excited to see what it drives like. I'm sure it's going to drive like a lot of Red's other trucks drive, but with a couple of little updates and tweaks and features to the feel, and also in terms of just how it drives in comparison to SnowRunner. I couldn't be more excited to get this thing out on the trails. Now, we're currently out on Rockrunners Off-Road Park, at least that's the map that we're using today, and, you know, after running into the gas station to grab a few things and, you know, making sure this thing was full of diesel, I think we're ready to go. We're ready to go find some good trails, and let's fire this truck up and get out on the road. The startup process takes a minute. Once you first turn the key, you have to wait for everything to cycle, and you guys know how it works. Alright, let's go ahead and make our way on out of the gas station, and now that that Ram Charger's kind of out in the sunlight, you guys can see what I'm talking about a little bit more clearly. I love the way that thing looks. It looks awesome on the back of the trailer there. Dude! Absolutely everything about this setup is like, oh, I love it. It's basically like you took the best new and old worlds of Dodge and just smashed them together for the ultimate off-road setup. Now, I'm sure that everybody's idea of the ultimate Dodge-based off-road setup is going to be a little bit different, and that's completely understandable, but this isn't far off from what I think a lot of people's ideas of the ultimate Dodge off-road setup would be. Now, I have not been this direction in a really long time, so I partially don't know where I'm going, but I do think that definitely adds to the adventure factor of it. Now, oh, dude, I forgot that this thing had such a nice interior, too. Now, one thing I will say, though, that you notice going back from SnowRunner to MudRunner is that the mirrors, well, mirrors aren't as much of a thing in MudRunner. They're really not. And did I go the... Oh, wow. I actually did go the entire wrong way. And yeet. Oh, dude, I love how the flex looks in MudRunner. Like, it looks good in SnowRunner as well, but man, does it look amazing in MudRunner. And hey, would you look at that? It wasn't such a bad thing after all, because we immediately found a trail to go down. Hey, I'm always down for that. Now, I'm going to leave it in what would be the equivalent of, like, low plus, low 3. If you're comparing this directly to SnowRunner, this would technically be low plus. But that seems like a perfect speed range for this little trail. Now, I don't know where this trail actually goes or what it loops into, but I'm sure it will tell us really, really soon. Easy. Man, you almost couldn't see where the trail went through there because it was kind of like... It was almost like it was, you know, sunken so far into the little mini ravine. Oh, I love the water crossings in MudRunner. There's so much depth, and I don't mean necessarily like the water being deep, but like there's so much visual and experience-based depth in the water crossings in MudRunner that like, oh, they're so good. Now, let's see. Look at that rock interaction on the tires. I know I talked about this in my other recent MudRunner video, or recent-ish MudRunner video, but I love the way that the tires interact with the rocks directly in MudRunner versus how they sort of hover above them in SnowRunner. And that's not to bash SnowRunner in any way. I love SnowRunner, clearly. But at the same time, I really wish that it had some of the interaction between the surfaces that you had in MudRunner. And you can tell that there were subtle changes that were made to the physics for SnowRunner, and especially... Oh, look at that flex. That's gorgeous. But no, you could tell that there were subtle changes that were made to the physics in SnowRunner, like, for example, how the vehicles interacted with rocky surfaces, and also how the tires interacted with the ground in general, because in SnowRunner, you know, using the sidewall of a tire really isn't a thing. Using, you know, kind of like the little sidewall lugs of a tire to grip a rock or grip, like, you know, a dirt, you know, edge of a trail or something like that. That's not really a thing in the SnowRunner physics system. All of the grip takes place on the underside of the tire, or rather just the, like the tread surface of the tire. But a lot of these mud terrain tires, like for example the one mounted on the back of this Ram Charger, has side lugs specifically dedicated to being able to grab grab into the side of a rock face or grab into, a dirt ledge or something like that where grip wouldn't otherwise be available. And for SnowRunner to completely remove that potential from the physics system, it doesn't really allow for the same amount of depth. I mean, obviously, this game does it to a degree. Beam does it a lot, obviously, because Beam, everything is interactable. So, oh, easy. I think we found, dude, did we find a open area with, like, a bunch of different trail sections? Heck yeah, we did. All right, I don't know where that trail goes, but I also don't know where any of these go. I need to check the map because I'm a little bit lost. Now, okay, this is just a little loop. And then, let's see. Looks like a hill climb maybe down there. And then what is this? Is this a mud pit? Yo, I need to find out what's over there because there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff that I'm not sure what it is. Oh, okay. Yep, we're not taking that jump. We're not in a mud truck. I'm sure this thing would be able to hold its own just fine. But at the same time, like I said, we are not in a mud truck. Although, I mean, that ramp is just too good to pass up. Hold on. We're going up the hill. Give me a moment. That ramp is way too good to pass up. Come on. Let's go. Whoa, easy. All right, that's high. Third, fourth. Put it in high. Come on. Dude, not bad. Actually, this thing has really good grip in the mud, though. And it feels like in the mud, it feels like it has more capability in the mud than it does in SnowRunner because, again, it feels like it's interacting directly with the surface rather than hovering on top of it. Now, not all surfaces in SnowRunner feel like that, but certain ones do. So, like, let's say, for example, dirt in SnowRunner, you actually feel like, to me, I feel like I'm directly interacting with it. But let's say, mud, I feel most of the time like I'm interacting with it directly, whereas rocks, I feel like I'm hovering on top of them, and pavement, I feel like I'm just sliding over black ice the entire time. And the reasoning behind that is because, for whatever reason, they built that into the coding. It's literally hard-coded into the game for paved surfaces to feel like ice. Unless you're on a bridge. If you're on a bridge, then you have the grip of a Formula 1 car. But if you're not on a bridge, then your grip level equals ice. I don't understand that. I've never understood that, and it doesn't seem like it makes any sense whatsoever. Now, let me make my way down to the next little trail section, and I want to find something that's got a little bit of extra challenge to it to really put this ram charger through its paces. Although I don't really know this map very well, and so that could potentially be a little bit of a hold-up to that. Come on. Oh, I remember this. I do remember this section, this little power line section. Oh, dude, the power line mud bogs are so sick. Now, if I could just find some rocks. Rocks would be delightful. Ooh. That trail looks like basically an entire circuit of just pure, like, mud and doom. And I'm not sure if I want to throw this thing into that just yet. I'm looking more for rocks and, like, steeper climbs. Don't know if I'm going to find them, though. But if I do, I'm going to absolutely send it towards them. That's literally a creek back there. All right, let's see how deep this is. Oh, that's not even that deep. Dude, we blew through that in high. That was literally not even a big deal at all. All right. So let me make my way a little bit further forward. I want to see if that might work, but I'm going to go down just past this fuel station and see if I can find a couple of good hill climbs. Now, yo, that creek is rushing, dude. Like, that looks like they recently had a, like a really big rain here. Oh my God, will you stay in a gear? I will say that is one of the things that I wasn't the biggest fan of MudRunner. Like, I like the shifter setup, don't get me wrong, but I've never been a big fan of the way the gearboxes are set up. And that's not a criticism of this mod at all. That's just like an overall MudRunner thing. Yo, hill climbs, let's go. This is exactly what I wanted. Oh my God, this is perfect. This is exactly what I freaking wanted. Come on. Oh, easy. Find it. There we go. Shuffle the front axle around, see if you can find the grip. This is a proper challenge, though. I mean, this is definitely what I was looking for. Let me back off that wheel speed a tad. Just a little bit. Where are we stuck? We're snagged on something. I think we're actually snagged on that spare. Let me back it up just a bit. I feel like if we approach this from a different angle or a different line, or maybe we just bump it. Oh my god! Well, that went well. I didn't realize that going rock bouncer mode was going to be the best course of action there, but it was. Oh my god, that's gnarly. Like, the fact that it was able to actually do that, that was some proper, like, rock bouncer level stuff. There we go. Find the bite at the front, and then just kind of ease it back and forth until the front end digs in and pulls you right on up. Dude, not bad at all. Not bad at all. There we go. Trying to find some grip in the dirt. There it is. I don't know if this line's going to work. There we go. Just let the front end fall back down. Yes! Dude! This is so good. I mean, the fact that it's actually able to climb this and not, you know, not slip all over the place, not fall backwards. I mean, I don't know if we would have had as easy of a time climbing this in SnowRunner, simply because, again, rocks are designed to have this weird, like, hovery, slick quality to them. Okay, we were able to ease the front axle around, but we're kind of in a bit of a precarious position now. So let me readjust and ease it back this way. I'm going to try to just ever so slowly slide this thing to the right. Don't know how much that's going to help, but tiny little winch pull just to try to, like, adjust it. It's still sketch. Like, it's still very, 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 very sketch. Come on. Pull just a little bit more. There we go. I didn't want to spend, like, too much time on that one climb, but, like, I'm sure we could have, you know, scaled our way to the top without having to winch at all. But I did not mean to go in reverse. That's something weird about this gearbox setup, too. But, like, you know, I didn't want to spend a ton of time on that hill climb. I'm sure we could have done it without the winch, but I did just kind of want to get to the top. But, like, man, what a incredible setup. Like, it's so relaxing because you don't really feel like you're having to, like, fight against the physics at all. Like, you really just feel like if you drive the vehicles properly, you will reach your destination. You will make your way to the top of whatever obstacle you're trying to climb. And I think that that's one of the things that keeps people coming back to MudRunner, is that feeling of, you know, if I drive this rig properly, I will make it to the top of the obstacle. Oh, God. Speaking of driving properly, that is not what I was doing there. Blasting through the rock. The mud on my way to the rocks, you mean. I do want to see if I can climb this notch. It doesn't look too difficult, and I feel like this thing will probably make short work of it, but, oh, actually, I was a bit wrong. What about a little bit of wheel speed? Maybe. Well, I tell you what, if I had stayed in it, it would have been great. It would have been totally fine if I had stayed in it. Let's see. One more go. Stay in it. I think that might only get us so far. Come on. All right. We're kind of wedged now, and then we just use low to pull us right on out of it. Not bad. I'm very, very, very okay with, like, how far we were able to get in high. We just got to figure out how to make our way a little bit further on up, because I don't want to, like, just give up on this obstacle. Any more than 3 attempts, though, and I am going to pull the winch cable out, so almost there. Oh, I think it made just a little bit of progress. Honestly, I think it made literally a tiny little bit of progress. I want this obstacle so bad. Dude, it's trying so hard. It's literally, like, clawing at the surface. It wants to. All right, I'm going to give it a tiny little winch pull. See, that's literally all it needed. That is literally all it needed. And, oh, well, maybe not. Maybe that's not all it needed. All right. Come on. There we go. Release winch, and we're good. So it needed a tiny little bit more winch pull, but not so much to where it was a problem, and certainly nothing that this thing couldn't have scaled without the winch. Almost there. I don't know if that was a good line choice or not. Well, I don't think it was that bad. I mean, we made our way on up just fine. Easy, and boom. Up to the top. Not even a problem whatsoever. All right, now let's finish off this video by summarizing everything that we talked about, because this was sort of a follow-up to my previous MudRunner video where I talked a lot about physics, I talked a lot about grip, I talked a lot about how the tires interact with the ground and the terrain, and I think this video just continued to emphasize that particular fact, while also taking a look at what it feels like to drive a vehicle that was converted back from SnowRunner to MudRunner. I mean, which is a really interesting approach in itself. But if you guys enjoyed this video and have anything that you would like to add to this conversation, make sure to let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, and I will see you guys next time. Talk to y'all later.